All right, I'm just going to start with hello. My name is Ryan Morgan. I've decided to do a video series. I'm going to title What the Fuck is Wrong with Us? I've been wanting to do a video series for a long time, and I was having a hard time trying to decide what I wanted to do it about exactly. I always knew what in life. I shouldn't say I always knew. I had a pretty good idea for the last 4 or 5 years of what I wanted to accomplish with like a YouTube channel or making videos or trying to spread a message. I just didn't really know what message it was I wanted to spread. I just knew what goal I wanted to get to, and that was I wanted to try and help better people, help better society, help better myself, which of course starts with me. And I think that's why it's taken me 45 years to like really get started and know where I wanted to go with this. So the question I eventually came to, watching all these videos, sitting on Facebook, watching the news, walking around town, being in the grocery store, seeing people with their children at fast food, watching people on TV, watching people in MMOs, you name it. The question that just keeps coming to mind is, what the fuck is wrong with us? You know? Because I've never once felt completely excluded from all this bullshit that's going on. You know, it's easy to feel like you're outside of it, like you're above it, like you're not just as a part of the system as everybody else. But I think anyone who thinks that way is mistaken. And, you know, that's my opinion. You can disagree. You can agree. You're welcome to that. But today I'm going to get started on episode number 1. Sorry for the extremely long intro. We're going to get started on episode number 1 on what the fuck is wrong with us. And our first topic on my dive into the question of what the fuck is wrong with us, because I'm going to be forward right here. I'm not claiming to know. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with us. If I did, I'd be rich and I'd have the problem solved. You know, or somebody else would at least have a lot of attention by now. But I am curious enough to know. I am willing to like ask the question and delve and think about it. And so here's one of the first things that has come to my mind in answering the question. And it's that we know ourselves better than anybody else could possibly know us. And you might ask yourself, what does that have to do with your question? Let me tell you. When you decide that you have a reason for believing in something, say you decide that you follow X presidential candidate because of X reason, XYZ reason. Here's what I want to point out. The thing about knowing ourselves extremely well is we happen to know exactly what we need to hear to be convinced of something. So when it comes time to believe something, our brain knows better than anybody else what piece of evidence needs to be produced in order for that belief to be held. Now, here's something interesting that's different between you and another human being when it comes to these kind of discussions. When you have this discussion with yourself, you know the instant your argument stops to hold ground. The instant you go somewhere and you step a line that doesn't sit well with you, boom, you have the opportunity to backstep, move a different direction. And again, you know yourself better than anybody else, so you're instantly able to produce the exact answer that you need to hear for whichever direction you're going to go next. Or want to go next. That's the thing, is you're biased. There's already a direction you want to go. So with that in mind, there's a version of you that's trying to get that agenda accomplished that knows you better than anybody else. So when you're trying to convince somebody else to vote for said political opponent, you have to read them, which if you're just making a video on YouTube, just making news, that's not something that's possible. Only possible in a one-on-one conversation. So that's my point is, I asked the question, what the fuck's wrong with us? We're biased and we can convince ourselves about things better than anybody else. And I don't think that's something we think about enough. So that's it for today's episode of What the Fuck's Wrong with Us? My name is Ryan Morgan, and I will hopefully be back to you guys soon.